Minnesota Vikings are indeed the best 2-3 team in National Football League history. They easily could be 5-0. They also easily could be 1-4, but it's been a complete mixed bag so far for the Vikings, even though you just feel deep down, even for the most snarky and negative Vikings fans, that this team is better than their record currently, even though you are what your record says you are. And the Vikings famously, infamously have a tough schedule, so-called, going forward. So we want to take a look ahead, even though, you only focus on the next game in front of you. Yeah, don't care. So Carolina is on the menu first on Sunday. So the Panthers were 3-0, and they were the darlings of the league. Oh, Sam Darnold. It really was the Jets the entire time. No, not so much. But Christian McCaffrey has been up on blocks with an injury, and they've lost their last two games. They just lost at home, letting Philly come from behind, 21-18 loss. Jalen Hurts, big-time game there. And I think this is an eminently winnable game, especially since 2 weeks have passed and the Panthers have dropped a couple, so they certainly look mortal. They do have a lot of speed on that defense, and even without J.C. Horn, they're doubling and tripling down on the cornerback spot. Even though Stephon Gilmore can't play this week, he's still on the pup. So the fact that no Gilmore, maybe no McCaffrey, watch the practice reports this week, but it's going to be tough. I mean, it is going to be a relatively tough game. You are on the road, but this is a very winnable game. There's a reason why the Panthers are only 1.5-point favorites, which means they would be 1.5-point dogs if this is a neutral site. Home team always gets 3 points. So I think the Vikings have no excuse. Like, there's no reason why the Vikings shouldn't be squared up at 3-3, head into the bye. Then week 8. So the Cowboys, I don't know. Mike McCarthy is just... This team is surprising a lot of people, but the Cowboys at 4-1. Congratulations for beating the Giants 44-20 when you just eliminated everyone from the game. Saquon got hurt. Daniel Jones didn't know what planet he was on. But I respect. Trevon Diggs has 6 interceptions, or is it 5? That doesn't really matter. But they're balling in the back end of that defense, which was a liability last year under Mike Nolan. Dak is back. Got a ton of weapons on that offense. The offensive line is not the offensive line that it once was, but it's been holding together decently. And so far, Mike McCarthy hasn't just let it implode so far. But it's a couple weeks ahead. But the Cowboys at 4-1. Yeah, the Vikings have 4 straight games against teams that are currently 4-1, and the record of the Vikings' remaining schedule is 37-23, so a 6-1-6 winning percentage, which is 12th hardest in the league. I don't care. They still gotta play the Vikings. Hey, the Vikings won't beat. The other team can't beat the Vikings. Only the Vikings can beat themselves. Nailed it. Then you're at the Ravens, where, I mean, the Ravens are a really up and down, back and forth team. Like, the Ravens are sort of like the Vikings, where they do play down to the level of competition. They would have lost at Detroit if it wasn't for the Justin Tucker 9-mile field goal. And they did struggle against Indianapolis, even though Indianapolis is not the team that it was last year. But Lamar Jackson is looking like a legitimate quarterback, not just a running quarterback, but a legit quarterback. So that's going to be a problem. Also, it just seems like Zimmer teams, and maybe just the Vikings in general, do have problems with mobile quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens there. Then you're at the Chargers. I love LA, because the Vikings, of course, get short shrift in the first year of the 17-game schedule, so they have the extra road game, and it's at the Chargers, who are so hot right now, looking like one of the best teams in the league. But 4-1. If you're Cleveland, how do you have 500 yards of offense, score 42 points, and don't turn it over, and you lose? By the way, so we were supposed to feel good that, hey, the Browns just have a really good defense, and they only allowed the Vikings to score 7 points, and then the Chargers put up 47. But, hey, I guess, the Vikings defense only allowed Cleveland 14 points, and then they scored 42 on the road again. So that's whatever there. But that's going to be a big-time game. Oh, Justin friggin' Jefferson going to get revenge on Justin friggin' Herbert for having the 2020 Offensive Rookie of the Year award stolen. Week 11. The Derby. It's on. Greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers coming into historic U.S. Bank Stadium, and throw the records out. I don't care if the Packers will be, 9-1, 8-1. I don't know when their bye is. I don't care if they're only have one loss coming into U.S. Bank Stadium. Throw the records out. Every single time these two teams together, anyone can win on any given Sunday. And Zimmer does seem to have Rodgers and the 12-year-old boy's number. So I say bring that one on, if Zimmer's still head coach by then. Week 12, you're at the Niners, where This game on paper seemed a lot more daunting than it did. It seemed a lot more daunting at the beginning of the season than now. Even though I think the Niners have run up against a bit of bad luck. Also, they're in the toughest division in the league. But 2-3, 17-10 loss at Arizona, where I think that Trey Lance is going to be a stud going forward. But I would prefer if they went back to Jimmy Garoppolo by the time that the Vikings play them, because I would much rather play Jimmy G, where you know what you're getting, versus an absolute wild card in Trey Lance. Even though Trey Lance playing his childhood team, yeah, I really wish the Gophers would offer them though. Then week 13, you're at the Lions, who may be 0-12. I don't know when their bye is. 0-11. Yeah. And then Steelers Thursday Night Football. So you have a quick turnaround because you're on the road to Detroit, even though that's relatively close for a road game. And then you come back at home Thursday Night Football. But at least the Steelers are garbage. I mean, they're 2-3. You are what your record says you are. But would you rather be the 2-3 Vikings or the 2-3 Steelers? Honest question, because the Steelers are an absolute hot mess. Their offensive line is one of the worst in the game, even though Najee Harris had himself a 100-yard rushing game. And they lost Juju, but that actually may be a blessing in disguise. Big Ben is dead. That defense is not good, even though they have TJ, even though they have Hayden and Minka, but yeah, whatever. Hey, congratulations for beating Denver, who were absolute paper tigers. Week 15 at the Bears, Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the Vikings never win on Monday Night Football, and they never win at Soldier Field. Well, they will this year. They will. I think it is a huge benefit for the Vikings to get the Bears twice at the end of the season. You have two division games at the end of the year versus a very, very poopy opponent. Sorry. I'm not buying the Bears at 3-2. Hey, congratulations for beating the Lions. Congratulations for beating the Bengals, even though the Vikings couldn't. Congratulations for beating the Raiders during Gruden email week. Yeah, congratulations on all of that. So I'm not buying this mirage at all. I think that Justin Fields is super talented. I don't think there's enough talent around him. I don't believe in Matt Nagy. I don't believe in Sharks with friggin' laser beams on his head, Bill Lazor. I don't believe in John DeFilippo. I don't believe on anyone on that staff. I do believe in Foles, though. Foles, yeah. So the Vikings get the Bears twice in the last 4 games. Then you got the Rams at home the day after Christmas, Boxing Day. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough one. Even though Zimmer does have this cosmic connection with Matthew Stafford, he just holds over him. Stafford, it just seems when Stafford was with the Lions and played the Vikings, he was gonna get pressured 20 times and sacked 10 times. 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. So that's why I'm holding out hope. And I think the Rams offense could eventually cool off. I mean, we're overdue for a Cooper Kupp injury, aren't we? Probably. But the Rams at 4-1. They got done at Seattle last Thursday, so whatever. And then you got the Packers at Lambeau, Sunday Night Football. Could be for the division. Will be for the division. Actually, no, the Vikings will be 2 games clear by here, but that's whatever. And then 18, actually, it'd have to be 3. Again, whatever. Then week 18, you got the Bears at home. The traditional end of the season game, a tradition unlike any other, and the Vikings will take care of business there. So even though it looks tough in the middle of that schedule, things can certainly change. An injury here, an injury there. Some teams can get momentum. Some teams can lose momentum. And by the way, all these teams have to play the Vikings, because if you're someone who's coming up against the Vikings on the schedule and you look how they hung with the Cardinals, the tightest game the Cardinals have played this season, you saw how they handled the Seahawks with Russell Wilson fully healthy. You saw how they hung with the Browns and easily could have won, except they kind of gave it away. You ignore the Lions game, and also you ignore the Bengals game to agree. This is a tough team. This is a tough-ass team because you don't know which Vikings team is going to show up. The elite team with a great offense, or the elite team with a great defense, or one or the other, or neither. All right, so that's what's frustrating about being a Vikings fan. I'm sure that's what's frustrating about being a Viking as well. But I mean, these teams, they ain't looking forward to this purple team coming up. They ain't. They ain't got that circle as another cupcake. No, this is not Louisiana Tech, Monroe, whatever. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on our thoughts looking at the schedule going forward. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.